Hello, this is Anne, and today I'll be talking about problem B from the 2022 NACLO Open Round. So this problem is called Who Saw the Bear, and it's about the Turkish language. So both parts of this problem ask us to fill in the table. And what I like to start with a problem like this, is to first highlight the words from the unknown language and see if they correspond to the English ones. So I filled out most of the words that repeat, and now I'm going to see where they correspond to the English. So Balik appears both in the first sentence and in the sentence the fish swam like the tiger. And I'm going to say that that's the fish, even though it could also be swam. But swam also appears in the elephant swam like the bear. And there Balik does not appear, which probably means that Balik means the fish and used to means swam, since that appears in all three of the sentences. And then from what I see here, the sentence structure is noun and then verb. So I can assume that atladi means jumped because that's after the noun, and then that also matches up with the two appearances of altadi in the Turkish, although it also appears in the sentence that we have to fill out. And then feel is most likely the elephant, which means that ran is costume. And then gibi is probably the like the, since that appears in both. And then kaplan is going to be the tiger. Okay, so we can probably finish making all the correspondences, but at this point I think we have enough information to start filling in the table. So feel, we know, means the elephant. And atladi means jumped. So the elephant jumped for A. And then B, we have to write the Turkish given the English. So the sentence is the turtle ran for the fish. And that sentence structure is the same as the tiger jumped for the turtle. So we can build off of this sentence to see how we should write our sentence. So we start with the tiger, so kaplan, and then we have jumped, but that goes at the end of the Turkish sentence. And for them is most likely going to be the isin, because in the fish swam like the tiger and the elephant swam like the bear, we have gibi as I guess it adds more to the sentence, and that comes after both of the nouns. So then kaplanbaga means the turtle. So in our sentence, we start with the kaplanbaga. And then we have the fish, which is balik. And then we have the isin. And finally, we need the verb, which is ran, and that appears in the elephant ran and is going to be the cause too. So we finished filling in the first table. Now on to the second. what I see here, like it immediately jumps out to me, is the gordu, which appears at the end of every single one of these sentences. And gordu is most likely going to be the saw, as saw or see appears in all of the sentences in the English translations. And we know that the verb always goes last. So we have gordu, saw or see. Then I noticed that we have different sentence structures here. We have some that are questions and then some statements. And in the questions we have who saw the seagull, and then like whom did the bee see, which are different sentences. And what we have to fill in is who saw the bear and whom did the bear see, which is very similar to the who saw the bee and whom did the bee see. So this is like an important part of this problem. And also I see that in the like object of the sentence, which is the second, I guess, noun, they all end in ye at the start. And then this is the same for like the who saw the seagull and also the sentence like the bee saw the frog, but then it doesn't appear in the whom type of questions. Instead, we have an I as an ending, and I know that this is like added on to it because I see that like there's the kim and then there's the kimi, and then there's also ari and ari. So it's like we have the noun, but then we have something that modifies the noun. So also in the sentence that we have to give the English translation of, we have the kaplambaga, which we know means the turtle, and then we have the yi as an ending. So this sentence structure matches with the first three as a statement. So Marty, we need to see what that word means. And then we can finish this first part. So Marty appears in the second and the fourth sentences, and in the English translation, seagull appears in those. So Marty pretty much has to mean seagull. And also we have giraffe, and we know from the first table that that means giraffe. So this sentence, we start with the seagull, and then we have saw, and then the kaplambagai we know is the turtle. So the seagull saw the turtle. Then the next two questions are questions, and we have who saw the bear and whom did the bear see. So the structure for this we have as who, and then we have like the bear, and then we have the verb. So who is going to appears in the questions as kim. So kim, then the bear, that doesn't appear in the second table, but in the first table we have the elephant swam like the bear, and there the bear is ayi. So here it will be ayi, but then since we have the yi ending to it, it's kim ayi gordu, and then question. So that's who saw the bear, and that structure is the exact same as the structure for who saw the bear. for who saw the bee, just with the bear and the bee switched. And then whom did the bear see, we can build off of whom did the bee see. So here we have a Ari Kimi Gordu, and then for whom did the bear see, you'll have a Yi, because that's the bear, and then Kimi Gordu. And we're done. So this was a pretty quick problem. The first part is like a more traditional type of problem, and then the second part we are mainly focused on like the difference between who saw this like bee and then whom did the bee see. So that's it. Bye.